As of this afternoon, Terraria is still number 2 in the Google Play Store, so this 1.3 patch is really driving new players to the game. DR Studios is not resting on its laurels either. They're hard at work pushing hotfixes, one of which has already been released, and so expect refinements to the controls over the next few days. Before I get to the developer statements, I did have a question for all of you. Having played some mobile Terraria 1.3 at this point, what is your biggest issue with the game so far? If it's the controls, please, if you make a comment, try to be specific about what in particular bothers you. And to keep things upbeat, I would also like to hear from you in terms of what you like best so far from mobile Terraria and all of the changes. So feel free to comment if you want. I'm just a bit curious. I've obviously been giving the new version a lot of thought and just thought I'd pose those questions to you all. But anyway, on to the Q&A, starting with me. Well, if you mean like an option to bring back the controls exactly as they were, then I have to say I don't think so. Controls are obviously the chief point of contention for many people at the moment, myself included. I'm not saying they improperly designed them, I'm just really trying to come to terms with them. Right after I finished producing my last news video, they actually released the first hotfix post on the official forums, and if you're curious, you can read Neviskio's write-up by clicking the link I've included in the video description below. But as far as controls, Loki had more to say about that. Old controls are not coming back, but improvements to what you have are additional left stick jump options, including the old way, and auto swing as a non-default option are coming in the next update and fixes. More customization options after that. Royal Shiny Potato God asked, "Hey, how do I change my jump controls?" And Neviskio from DR Studios was there to answer. Neviskio wrote, "It's two different things. The current release makes flying easier. Next hotfix, jump changes." Compo asked RoboArms, also this was stuck for 10 minutes, and Compo shared this image. Evidently, there were some issues with Hardmode. And RoboArms, also of DR Studios, replied to that with, "We've seen a couple of people having trouble getting Hardmode to set. We're looking into it." And moving on from crashing to crafting, Mr. Rands asked, "Loki, go with the guide, tap on crafting, then tap any item in your inventory, and you will see the recipes. Select the item you want to craft, then just walk away slowly. If you go too far, it won't work, till the button says craft. Please fix this bug." And I'm not entirely sure what he's talking about because I haven't experienced it myself, but Loki was there to answer, and Loki wrote, "Known, reported day 1, already fixed in the next hotfix that will arrive." Andre Hero 007 said, "Loki, how can I disable automatic door opening?" That's actually one of my favorite features. But anyway, Loki wrote, "Don't think you can." So there you go. Tayab wrote, "Loki, when will 1.3 come out to mobile Amazon devices?" And I'm sure anyone with an Amazon mobile device is just really chomping at the bit for this update, and I can't blame Tayab for asking. Loki's answer, that is the first focus once all the launch fixes are done. I suppose that begs the question, what constitutes a launch fix? Moneylover3246 wrote, "Loki, I can't seem to see anything during the night. The lighting in caverns, pretty much anywhere, is bad without torches. Are there going to be changes?" Loki's answer, "The light you have now is intentional and fits the intent of the game. The player was never meant to glow in the dark. That was a code glue change." Loki also wrote elsewhere on Discord, "On PC it only reveals with light sources, and this level of brightness matches PC." And I can tell you, I go through countless torches on the PC version, and so this darkness on the new mobile version is not a shock to my system. But That old glow around the player in Mobile 1.2 was definitely convenient, I'll give it that. Mentally Dill asked, "Okay, how are you guys connecting to the online servers? I keep getting *L. And that was a bit of a curious one for me. Loki was there to answer, and Loki wrote, *L or *L is common for when you try to join a PC server, like a current live PC version of the game server. Totally not compatible with each other. Not compatible yet. At any rate, if any of you were getting that error message when attempting to play on an online server, evidently that's what that message means." Good Pollo writes, "Loki, when will the HotFix update be released?" Obviously referring to the second one. Loki wrote, "There was one today. I don't have exact timing for the next one. Hopefully next week." And by today, of course, Loki would have been referring to Thursday, the 29th of August. Loki also wrote, "For the 9,000th time, today at least, next fix wave brings more jumping options to the left stick, including the old 1.2 way, and auto swing as a non-default option. It's very well in development. I don't have a definite timeline. Next week, I hope." Ever get the feeling he gets a little bit fatigued from answering the same questions? And who can blame him? Proto Persona on the official forums wrote, "Because I can cheese boss fights currently in 1.3 on both PC and PS4 in the exact way you're describing. Auto pause on consoles and PC works in both the main menu and the inventory. Why is mobile working differently if the goal is to unify the play experience in all versions?" And that's referring to what some see as an exploit with a menu pause feature in some versions of Terraria. Loki's answer, in case you missed it, Senex has already confirmed that autopause outside of settings is going away on PC once 1.4 Journey's End arrives. This will be the case on all other platforms as well. Kiger2 wrote on the official forums, "The new controls suck. 75% of the recent reviews on the App Store agree. I calling this a critical game-breaking bug. It's unplayable. Bring back the old controls and also the ability to auto-attack by holding down the attack button." Well, Kiger2, can you please tell us how you really feel? Loki answered, "Additional left stick jump options, including the old way, and auto swing as a non-default option, are coming in the next update fixes. We are hoping this makes everyone happy. Unplayable? Not even remotely close to true, and you know that. Totally get the complaints, thus why they are being acted upon, but the hyperbolic melodrama is just over the top. It is quite intriguing how so many people have been able to adapt and play it quite well indeed." And, that's a very measured response from Loki. I think he's acknowledging, maybe more so than before the release, that maybe some tweaks need to happen and maybe the original controls were not quite where they needed to be for 1.3, but he's right. This is not unplayable. I think really this is a case of people being set in their ways, and it is a challenge to adapt to new controls, and it's just something everyone has to go through, even though it is obviously very irritating and frustrating, especially for some people. Anyway, enough about that. Joey Magnus 1 wrote, "The problem with a singular experience on mobile is, well, it's mobile. Most mobile players aren't hardcore players. Mobile gaming is convenience gaming. Terraria on mobile became inconvenient with this update." That's an interesting take. Loki's answer, "What you had was also best described as a watered-down Terraria Lite version of the game. So it becomes a question of choices, right? Do you want more capability? Or do you want super simple? Do you want a true, authentic experience, just like everyone else? Or do you want it watered down because it is mobile?" And so on. I am about as noob of a mobile player as you will find. I'm also a long-time Terraria player. What you have now, though admittedly needing some fixes and tweaks that are coming, is finally a true, legit Terraria for mobile with no corners cut. Everyone used to the litany of cut corners and design nerfs on the old version. Yeah, it's going to take some getting used to. We hear you on the controls, which is why you saw Flight this week, and we'll see Jump and more in the next update. Not trying to sound harsh or rude if it sounds that way, just giving you a perspective. So there you go. I think Loki and the rest of the team knew they'd be in for frustrated players and reactionary responses to the new system, but they're hanging tough and working hard on hotfixes. My advice, keep practicing. These controls don't teach themselves. They haven't quite taught me yet. If you've seen my recent inaugural Let's Play video, then you'll probably pick up on that rather quickly. So good luck to all who are trying to get these controls down. It's definitely kind of a long-term thing, but I think it's worth doing. So good luck, and I'll see you next time, everyone.